I ran a test with my AI web design tool, switching it from Claude Sonnet 4 to Claude Opus 4.1, and I'll walk you through the side-by-side comparison, and you can see for yourself if you think it's worth it. This is for a local coffee shop. It doesn't actually exist, but I just made up a description that I thought would be representative of a lot of small businesses. Nice intro, explanation sections, some earthy colors, different fonts, a little bit of hover action. Okay, some interesting colors. It's kind of basic, but I like this layout here. Kind of basic. So that's from Sonnet. Let's check out what Opus did. Wow, that's much better. Really strong design, super strong look. This kind of subtle coffee ring. I mean, I hope I don't get that on my table, but it's interesting. It's bold. From mountain to mug. Oh, that's so good. I do love a coffee from Honduras. Shout out Honduras. This layout is much better. Gather here, the living room of our neighborhood. It's very dynamic. It's much more thought out. It's a similar kind of design, but look at this. Light to dark roast. And it almost looks like skin tones also, like everybody's welcome kind of a vibe. Very thoughtful. So let's check out the next one. This is for an imaginary jewelry company, Wild and Found Jewelry. And this is Sonnet's output. Very flat colors, nice composition. This isn't that readable, this gray text. It loves doing these 3 cards in a row. For some reason, Sonnet loves doing that. I think this is pretty basic. Let's see what Opus did. Okay, that's kind of cool. And look at this color. Just this whole brand presentation is way stronger. Some interesting effects going on. And this is cool. Each piece tells a story. It's really visually kind of telling a story. And the way it uses different fonts together, they work really well. Generally, it looks good. It's still readable, but it just has a very high-end kind of decorative feel to it that the version from Sonnet didn't have. So let's jump back to the one from Sonnet. This is just super flat. This doesn't scream fancy. This looks like you just built it on WordPress. This, on the other hand, this looks a lot more special. And the way that it darkens as you scroll, let's look at that again. Oh, that's nice. That's classy. This also has the 1, 2, 3. I don't know what that animation is. Kind of useless. And then it takes you into a nice dark kind of landing area here at the bottom. I think that's way better. So this is for a growth consulting company. Pretty good dynamic design, but it's pretty flat. And the background color too. See how it has these 3 cards again? For some reason, Sonnet loves doing this. This green at the end doesn't really match, but it's fine. Let's see what Opus did. Wow, this is interesting already. We have these kind of stickies that do a little movement when you hover over them. And I don't know if you can see this depending on what screen you're on, but there's a little reel kind of hand scribbled underneath growth. That's thoughtful. And the layout is just different on each one of Opus's designs. It's a little bit more unique. It's got the 1, it's got the 2, understanding both sides, the business side plus the human side. It really communicates a lot visually compared to the Sonnet output, which was much more straightforward, kind of business-like. This is much more design-minded, I think. I don't like how narrow these are. I like the colors, and I like how it goes 1, a different approach, 2, understanding both sides, and it kind of has this visual rhythm to it where it leads you from the left to the right, back to the left. 3, built for your reality. Another little handwritten note, you're not alone. Okay, and then there's a good appeal here with some emphasis, nice strong call to action at the end. This is a site for the YouTube channel that you're watching right now, and the project that this is a part of, Automating Myself, which is an experiment I'm running over 6 months to automate the boring part of my life and job so I can focus on the fun, creative parts. So I wanted a website to kind of tell that story and a link that I could send people when I'm telling them about it. So this is the version that Sonnet created for it. I don't know what this big shape is for. It doesn't really do anything, but visually, I like it. Another big useless shape. I like the colors, and I like the switch from the light to the dark. Good pull quote, good visual. It feels very flat. I like that color there, but why does the icon disappear when I hover? And why does the color switch? But it's cool. I love the bisexual lighting. Let's check out the Opus one. The red is much stronger. That's more what I'm looking for. With this little kind of turquoise or teal accent color, that's nice. This is strong. This is very strong. Oh, this is so good how it has this pulled out with a different font, actually. Not just a different color for emphasis, but a different font itself. And this is really what it's all about. Documenting my journey, building things that are actually useful, so that you can focus on what makes you uniquely you. Not only did it make a beautiful presentation of this, but it understood what was the most important part and narratively what was the most important thing to tell. And it's telling that not only through the words, but visually. Sonnet really wasn't doing that visual storytelling through the website as effectively. And that's everything. This is very light, hard to see, but I don't know if we need that number. But it's better than the big block of color that had nothing in it that Sonnet generated. Yeah, I like how it broke this out. The manifesto. Did this call it the manifesto? Because I didn't call it the manifesto. No, it just kind of went right into it. So Opus really broke it out. This is just from a transcript of a YouTube short that I copy and pasted into it. And it's really laying it out nicely. Very easy to read. A little bit big, but I think that's good. It's bold, and I want to make a bold statement. This is way better. The animation with this little flash, that's classy. And the YouTube color on the YouTube call to action, that's a lot better. This is much stronger visually. Here are the costs of generating the websites I just showed you. The lines highlighted in blue are for Opus, and the other ones are for Sonnet. And you can see that the Opus ones were 5 to 6 times more expensive than Sonnet. So that is very significant, but everyone was still under $1. So the most I paid for a single website was 64 cents for the Opus version of Authentic Growth Consulting. Is 64 cents for a website worth it? It used to cost thousands of dollars for a website. Compared to that, that's huge. Is it going to have that human touch? It's not. Are you going to be able to tell it exactly what you want? It's going to take some finagling. If the output is really important to you, 5 to 6 times the cost will be worth it. But if you test it and Sonnet does just as good of a job, the cost can add up really fast and you shouldn't use it. So it's really dependent on your use case. Don't just use the more expensive one just to get a better performance out of it. First, try to iterate on your prompts and get good performance from Sonnet, and then plug Opus in and see, once you have your prompt figured out, if Opus is gonna really make it that much better. That's what I did with this. So I'm not generating all these costs while I'm iterating over multiple versions of the prompt. But at the end, I can still have an end product that generates great quality. So check it out yourself and see what the difference is. I personally saw a huge difference between the outputs generated from Sonnet and Opus for my AI web design use case. I'm going to be using Opus moving forward for this specific use case. And if you're interested in following along, this is episode 2 of my series, Automating Myself, where I'm building a personal AI assistant to do only the boring parts of my job in life. And I'll be sharing more successes and failures and more tips for you to follow along and learn more about what AI can do for you and what it can't do for you and what to focus on to keep you being uniquely you in the new age of AI.